Hey guys, what are you guys doing? Wait a minute, I'm reading these comments. I forgot how dirty the book is, and I'm about to eat lunch. Are you talking about the Gypsy book, or are you guys talking about things like Deep Throat or something? I push the light, I'm ready to go. Hello, Italian friends. Hey, Edie Cook. How you doing, Edie? Opa's Angels. How you doing, Opa? Are you Greek? Every time I think of Opa, I think of Greek. Smash the like button. Thank you, Trixie. Thank you for that. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Welcome, new members. Detroit soloist. Welcome. Soloist. Is that like musically? Southern Pecan. Oh God, Opa's Angel. I hate you right now. You know, I let myself run out of coffee. Drinking on a lavender latte. Wow, that sounds really good. I've never had anything like that, Jamie. A lavender latte. Where'd you get that? Can I get one of those? Lavender latte, please. What's up with Trixie? Huh? What's Trixie saying? To rethink. Hey. So everybody, I take it, can hear me? Hey, Mama Bear 918. Well, thank you for coming anyway. Thank you for coming and just gracing yourself, gracing us with your presence. I so appreciate it. And I mean that. Holiday in Montana. We saw you yesterday. I'm thinking about a holiday in Montana. Happy Tuesday, everybody. That's from Maurice. Michelle, how you doing? One skippers. Yeah, we skip a little funny. We all wobble, but when we fall down, we come back up. Gypsy ahoy from Zombie. That's right, guys. That's right. Lamb chops, Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello. Everyone, please hit the like, subscribe, share buttons and show all your love and support for our gal Nina. What about me? Hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons for me too. Come on, man. Of course for Nina, but for me too. For Trixie Lane, 1980 Millennial, Dawn. Trixie, thank you so much. That was uncalled for. Thank you so much. Cutting board Dawn. Renelle Smith, man, she's kicking it. Renelle Smith is like the conscience of social media. You know, Becca Scoops, guys, Morbid. Come on, Silnat. Hello, Silnat. How you doing? I put a video up, Silnat. Did you see it? It was the last video I put up. I hope you saw it and watched the whole video, Silnat. I saw a video that you put up on TikTok, and I took that video and yeah, I said something about that. So that's not okay. That's not okay. Hey, randomly random's wife. I love that. The fairy on my shoulder. I love that. I'm glad you saw the video. Yeah, we got to look out for each other. I didn't appreciate that. And as you guys know now, I have big concerns about NPG Cornerstone. I wish they would reach out to a content creator that I would have faith in, if not myself, and just say, this is who I am. And this is our goal for Nick. The AI voice is not fair to anybody, and then ask people to put money behind it. Now, Nick has said to me, you know, don't question them. We have every right to question. So I'm sorry that might not make Nick happy, but Nick is not the only person who struggles with autism who is getting a short end of the stick here. Unfortunately, he's the poster child for it. And if he doesn't want us to talk about him, Nick knows how to get in touch with me and ask me not to talk about him. And if he asks me not to talk about him, I will let everybody know that he asked me not to talk about him. And I strongly believe too, Opa's Angel, that, and I still want to know if you're from Greece or if you're Greek. I believe that Gypsy might be behind, or somebody with not Nick's intent, with not the best intent for Nick, might be behind NPG Cornerstone. So so you're German? Okay, Opas. Okay, very cool, very cool. I've never been to Germany. Well, I've never been to Germany, but I've been to Austria. My family's from Hungary. I'm second generation United States. Uh, there are vultures everywhere. Where are there vultures? I just want to know, are they in Florida? What's going on, Holly Jolly? Are there vultures where you're at? I hope he will tell us everything as well. Um, Wild Gypsy Rose, I am from Vancouver Island, BC. Candace and my family is from Hungary too. Yeah, I've been there actually. Mom was a little girl, met Hitler. Interesting story. Wow, really? Wow. I'd like to hear that story. Not here, but if you'd like to share that with me, I'd like to hear it. Curious. You can reach me at toddy1skip@gmail.com, and maybe we can meet on a Zoom or something. So anyway, guys, I think that Nick might still be being manipulated. I hope not. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I knew what you meant, Holly Jolly. I knew what you meant. But I she was talking metaphorically. I knew that. But um I'm going to see about that, Trixie. Definitely going to see about that. So the thing is that Nick thought that Gypsy was in his best interest too. And we all know how that worked out for him, right? So I don't know. But I'm not going to stop because of the injustice there. So whether it affects Nick or not, I'm not going to stop. I just will stop supporting Nick, but I will still support a cause that I hope helps people that have autism, because there's people that have a slower and a delayed reaction. And in a situation when they're pulled over by the police, or when they're in a situation that's confusing to the police or to them because of that, they can easily get harmed, if not unalived, in that situation by accident. So it's a little bit bigger than Nick, okay? Nick just happened to bring awareness to this. And I've heard from a lot of parents and a lot of people that have younger people that have autism, and this is their concern. So I'm going to speak about it. And if Nick was the one that brought attention to this, then the people at NPG Cornerstone and Nick should be grateful that none of this went in vain, that him doing life didn't happen in vain, because here we are now bringing awareness. So, and that's what Silnat was doing. And that's when she got stopped by NPG. And the only thing they wanted to know, and they kept harassing her about, was, why do you think Nick's family isn't supporting him? And all she said was, well, I haven't seen anything. I don't know, you know? And that's a fair thing. And she wasn't being mean or nasty. She just made a comment. And they held on to that like a dog with a bone. I don't understand it. There was no reason for it. And they harassed her. Okay. They brought me into it and called me a non supporter. I'm a supporter. I've done more right now, opening up my mouth for Nick with my real face and a real email address where I get back to people. I've written to Nick because 15,000 people at least want to know, is he okay? Does he need anything? Can we help him? Can you check and see how we can get in touch with him? Is NPG really something he even knows about? So that's what I did. So what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. Don't let anybody tell you that there's anything wrong with that. We have every right to check out our references, our sources. And if they have a problem with that and they fold up each time, there's something wrong with that. So, guys, enough of this bullshit. Amy Denise, I wouldn't trust them. Well, Holly Jolly says she wouldn't trust them. And let me tell you something. I hope she doesn't get mad at me. Holly Jolly she trusts everybody. So she don't trust them. That says something. I dropped my cap here. My little cap of water. Aquafina. Yeah, usually I don't drink Aquafina, just so you know. I'm a big supporter of not purified water, but spring water. However, this was what I got. All right, guys, let's go on to this. If you guys could please hit Kelly Herman. Hey, Skippers, thank you. Hi, Panda. Hello. You said my name right. Good, Amy Denise. Good. Or Toddy as well, I'm sure, can help with instructions to reach out to Nick. I definitely have instructions in which to reach out to Nick. And I can certainly help with that. Actually, I think that that's in my community page, and Holly Jolly might have put it up on my Facebook page. My only concern, well, you write to him and you guys figure it out. I don't want to tell you anything. He definitely is getting the emails. So you could definitely write to him. I have donated money to him. So, and I only say that, excuse me, I've donated twice. I donated just a day ago or two, maybe a day or two ago. It's Christmas time. I'm not sure NPG Cornerstone is giving him any money while he's incarcerated. And I thought, I want him to know that I don't agree with NPG Cornerstone and how they're going about things, but I care about him and I wanted him to still have something that maybe he wouldn't have been able to have at Christmas. That's all. And I'm never going to blame Nick because somebody manipulated him. I'm not going to punish Nick for that. You think my name is Gypsy Rose Blanchard? What's wrong with you guys? All right, guys, let's do this. He told me he hates it. I will advise. Yeah. Oh, because, yeah. I never asked him about the case, guys. I didn't ask him about the case. I just told him who I was, told him if he needed anything, I'm here, and asked him point blank, do you know who NPG Cornerstone is? They say that they speak for you. I just want to make sure that you're aware of them and that they speak for you. He told me yes. And then I asked him if he wanted to get out of prison, and I did it as respectfully as I could. I have an email I've shown you guys. And he said that I did insult him, basically, by asking him, even though I explained to him I worked in the facilities and sometimes people became institutionalized and they were very comfortable in jail or prison and they were afraid to get out on the outside because they got accustomed to the regiment and they felt safe within that regiment. And I explained that to him and I said, so please don't take offense. He took offense, but I can't do anything about that. And, that's okay. That's okay. I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to make sure that if I was going to spend time talking to you guys about fighting for him, and if I was going to fight for him to try to get some sort of readjustment to sentencing, I just wanted to make sure that that was what he wanted, So I think everything I did was fair. Okay, so while Gypsy Rose, anyone can be manipulated, is why the manipulator is so horrendous. He is even more. Absolutely, absolutely. Holly Jolly is saying, please, everybody, if you could give a thumbs up, that'd be great. There's 115 of you, and there's 60 of you that like me. So that's about half of you that like me. Guys, so I'm gonna go. We're gonna start. You ready to start? Thank you guys for allowing me. Go ahead, Amy. Amy, I'm sure that we could put something up on Facebook again, or Holly Jolly can direct people to helping Nick, All right, guys. So whether it be letters of support, whether it be donation, whatever. Guys, so we're going to go on with page 6. Joy, thank you. Starlight. Thank you. But Starlight's a good person, right? All right, guys. All right. So we're going with this. Here's another French word that is, I don't know how, but I think I'll try because I like you guys. And I sometimes make a fool out of myself, but who better to make a fool out of them with you guys? So this is chapter 6, Lagnaiepe. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you guys. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I can't look at the chat, but I do look up on occasion. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Holly Jolly. I love reading stories to you, especially these fiction ones. Okay, so again, chapter 6 from the fiction of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Melissa Moore and Michelle Mastrosiani. Mastrosiani. So I don't know, Floor. I don't know. All right. So again, chapter 6. And guys, so where we left off was that Gypsy was making these allegations that she had these memories of her maternal grandfather, Claude Petrie, actually with her and her mom. And in one breath, her mom was handing Gypsy to him in a bathtub. And in the next breath, her mom knew nothing about it. And so it's just all a bunch of SHIT. So again, this is chapter 6, Lagnaiepe. I don't know what that means, but it says a little something extra you probably weren't expecting. So it means something like a little something extra you probably weren't expecting. So that could go positive with you thought somebody was going to give you $15, they gave you 20, or that could go the other way. You thought somebody was going to give you a kiss and they gave you herpes. Let's see how it goes here. Everyone in Mama's family knew she was a hoarder. Before we arrived in Springfield, Missouri, I don't know why I'm talking that way, guys. Let's try it again. Everyone in Mama's family knew she was a hoarder. Before we arrived in Springfield, Missouri, when I was 15 years old, and again, we're keeping track of her age here. And somebody said yesterday, how come she knew her age so well? We'd been traveling light. So again, everyone in Mama's family knew she was a hoarder. Before we arrived in Springfield, Missouri, when I was 15 years old, we had been traveling light with just the clothes in our suitcases and a few of our favorite things. My mom's baby pillow and my stuffed blue dog, ingenuously named, guess what, guys? Blue Doggy. There's an imagination. We bounced around from the time I was 8. I imagine that without a permanent place for my mom to store all her emotional baggage, she doubled down on collecting physical baggage once we landed in Springfield, where we were blessed to receive our Habitat for Humanity house on Volunteer Way. Yeah, but you remember the day that she was getting that, what that woman, Cats and Crochet, said? That Gypsy pulled her daughter's hair and they were going to take back the house, but it was Dee Dee that was like, please, please. We frequented yard sales and bought crap just to buy it, like game consoles, souvenirs for other people's vacations, from other people's vacations, and even furniture we didn't need. It was mostly clothing she hoarded. My mom couldn't say no to a donation. She loved a good going out of business sale, even if the items on 90% markdown were useless to us. She was a shopaholic, better than being a sociopath, by the way. Maybe this I threw that in there, guys. That was me that threw that in there. Maybe this was another coping mechanism for dealing with her. Hang on. For dealing with her clinical depression. The day the days after holidays were her favorite time to run out to J.C. Penney or Dillard's to snatch up prom dresses after prom season ended, to Michael's to round up next year's Christmas decorations, or she'd buy merch for events after the fact, like a bicentennial celebration t-shirt a year after the fireworks show. Then there were things we'd steal. My mother taught me the art of shoplifting at a very young age. She had a family history of kleptomania. I found out very recently. Really? While you were writing a book and shit, did the whole family say, "We all stole. Don't tell anybody. I know you're writing a book, but we all stole. Okay, let's give it a whirl." I don't believe this shit. The book is wild. Violet and why prom dresses beats the hell out of me. Beats the hell out of me. Neon Bombshell. How you doing? All right, guys. Toddy, that's the very first time I've managed to catch you on live. What time is it where you are? We are 7:23 p.m. in Scotland. We are 5 hours behind you here. So it's only 2:23 in English, American. I'm sorry, let me rewind. It's 2:23 over here in New York. There we go. There we go. I'm doing great. It's been a while. How are you? I'm doing good, Neon. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's continue on. Okay, so her mom taught her how to steal. That's what Jip Jip says. Chips ahoy! And that she had a family history of kleptomania. I found out very recently, Gypsy said. Legend has it that my grandmother Emma, that'd be Dee Dee's mom, had been arrested for stealing, and she had been caught and banned from food and clothing stores on more than one occasion. My mom grew up with a comfortable middle class lifestyle, so any thievery must have just been for high. Just for kicks. Did Emma teach my mom how to steal? Which is why Mama taught me how to? Well, it's kind of like teaching somebody how to walk. Let's teach somebody how to steal. I know everybody knew. Hola, Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, everyone knew that Gypsy was a con artist, and that Dee Dee was a con artist, and so did Gypsy. Yep. I got a very good Scottish accent. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it again. So, did Emma teach my mom how to steal? Did Grandma Emma, what'd she call her? Mumsy Emma, teach my mom how to steal, which is why Mama taught me how to steal. How come she didn't call her Mumsy Emma here? Let's call her that in the last chapters. Well, sometimes I believe we stole because she wanted to get me things that we simply couldn't afford. I also think she experienced the thrill from the satisfaction of knowing we pulled one over. I think that Gypsy feels the same exact way. You know that, right? That she gets high off of taking things that don't belong to her, messing people's lives up. I kind of think she gets a little high off that. All right. I remember my mom stealing a wheelchair from the Children's Hospital in Kansas City. I just had a surgery on my lazy eye, a condition I actually had. Really, because you can't fake that. You still got a lazy eye. I'm not saying that to make fun of you, but you definitely can't fake it. The other bullshit you can. Maybe while they were doing a surgery in that eye, they went in there and lasered 5 other things because, she had, like, 30 surgeries, so she said, but she only has 4 scars, so magic. Okay, so I just had surgery on my lazy eye, a condition I actually had, and she wheeled me right out of the hospital and into our van. Later, she took nail polish remover and a toothbrush and scrubbed off the hospital's name. The hospital had trusted us to use the wheelchair until we got to the car. She loaded it to the car as nonchalantly as you would a bag of groceries, and we drove away. I imagined her thinking, I wonder when or if they'll ever notice it's gone. So, kind of like a shopping cart that, the homeless want to take with them and put all their belongings in. So, Gypsy, why don't you give money back to that store that you're very familiar with and let them buy a wheelchair for somebody that actually needs it? Just asking. We actually had several wheelchairs, maybe 5, that sat throughout our small home, like her pewter wizard figurines. My mom collected wheelchairs, as well as, I guess, pewter wizard figurines. We had a collapsible one, a jazzy powered wheelchair, and another power wheelchair that was custom made so everything from the seat to the hydraulics was fit for me. Medicaid paid for the custom power wheelchair. My mom paid for the travel wheelchair she bought at Target or Walmart. Insurance covered the Jazzy. As I grew older, my mom preferred me to use the foldable wheelchair as it required her to push me and made me less independent. Yeah, probably made you more affordable for insurance because you were a bad kid, allegedly, and you probably would have killed people in that other wheelchair. The ones that you could easily say, "Well, it got stuck. The button got stuck." Sitting in a wheelchair in the store aisles helped me more easily catch and conceal items my mom would knock into my lap. When she wasn't dressing me as a boy, I'd head to Walmart in my princess costume. I never saw a picture of her dressed as a boy. The toe of the skirt being a great canopy hiding merchandise. And for items that couldn't be sat or on. Okay, hang on. Sorry, guys. The toe of the skirt being a great canopy for hiding merchandise and for items that couldn't be sat on or hidden underneath my beanie cap. My mom taught me the barcode swap. Remove the barcode sticker from a cheaper item and place it on the more expensive item. Then use the self-checkout lane. Since Sam's Club didn't have metal detectors, I'd be able to fit 14 or 15 CDs on me. We'd steal random stuff at Hobby Lobby, mostly arts and crafts items, which I used a lot. My outlet was drawing and painting and making characters with those googly eyes you glue on and different colored feathers. I also loved to sketch. When I went to prison, one of the items that I asked Dad and Christy to save from the house was my book of artwork. I thought she was not a very good artist. Didn't I hear she wasn't a very good artist? Didn't she say that? Jamie Duncan, feel the love. Feel the love. I haven't seen any of her artwork either. Have you guys seen any of her artwork? Well, she doesn't sing, Cherokee girl. She doesn't sing. If she sings like she draws, it's a good thing we haven't seen any of her artwork. All right. Okay, so here we go. I asked Dad and Christy to save from the house was my book of artwork. But one time we tripped an alarm at Hobby Lobby, and I'm not skipping over and jumping. This is the way the book's written. So instead of staying on the Hobby Lobby thing, or at least making another paragraph about this memory, it just reads like this. But one time we tripped an alarm at Hobby Lobby, and as if they had been waiting for this moment for a long time, probably had been, the manager and a minion, what a way to call somebody, because loss prevention. They have a job in loss prevention to pay attention to people like you, Gypsy, especially people that pretend that they have some sort of disability and that they're a child, so it makes it very difficult for them to be searched. So, F off, Gypsy Rose. You gotta read between the lines, man. Okay. So, but one time we tripped an alarm at Hobby Lobby, and as if they had been waiting for this moment for a long time because they probably sensed it, the manager and a minion ran to where we were, just outside the door. "Search her!" the manager said, pointing to me. "Search her." In particular, the part of my dress the crafts were crushed beneath. My mom put on her fake victim voice. "Oh, I wonder if it sounded like yours," and acted all appalled. But they actually did it. They searched where I was seated in my wheelchair and discovered the gluey, sticky, sparkly contraband. We were marched to the back office, and I remember thinking, what a cool job being the manager of a Hobby Lobby must be. We'll try to get a job there now. You're looking for employment, right? Mhm. How omnipotent the manager must feel, being able to watch people roam around his store from the one-way glass. None of them the wiser. We all know that there's the glass in the windows that people sit and they can see loss prevention, and that there's cameras everywhere. Oh, come on, man. There's nothing like special about that. Like, unbelievable. The power. Like, being able to watch people roam around his store from one-way glass, none of them the wiser. We all know. We all know, Gypsy Rose. It's just that we don't go to stores intentionally to steal things. How differently all the shoppers might act if they realized they were being observed. There's cameras everywhere, and we know we are being observed. When we are out in the public, we figure we're being observed, dumbass. Come on, Gypsy. When you are out in the public and there are people next to you, observe, observe. Come on, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. What a stupid statement to make. Maybe Gypsy did write this book after all. I knew how it felt to be looked at all the time, how to act when being observed. No, you didn't. And like the shoppers in the store, I didn't have the power to look back. I wanted to have an advantage like the managers for once in my life. Man, how entitled this girl was and still thinks she is. How unbelievable this is. Is this crazy or what? Somebody said she should know since she was filming the woman at Waffle House. Waffle House. No thanks, you. Never been to Deviant Art. I mean, I don't know. I missed that one. Guys, please thumbs up. 158 watchers. Hey guys, thank you. 109 people want to say they like me. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to continue onward. I like to look up. Okay, Gypsy Rose. Wow, Gypsy Rose says her daughter is taller than her. Okay. All right. So I'm going to continue on. Believe it or not, the police were called and charges were pressed. Why wouldn't we believe it? You fucking stole, dumbass. That's what happens. That's what happens when you steal things. Unbelievable. I just don't understand why she can't why we would find this unbelievable. Believe it or not, the police were called and charges were pressed. Mama and I were banned from ever returning to any Hobby Lobby in the entire country. At least that was my understanding. But, she went into Hobby Lobby and we have that on video. And, she was on probation or parole. She's on parole. And she broke, I mean, why wasn't that something that was like, you're banned for life. You're banned for life. And then you go in there. Hey, Jen. Hey, Slick. Shorty Pie. I mean, like, how come she didn't get in trouble for that? How come, she didn't break her parole for that? Like that's a violation, right? You're banned from a place, you're on parole and you go there and you admit in a book that you're banned from the place and you know about it. At least that was my understanding. That's what she says. Believe it or not, the police were called and charges were pressed. Mama and I were banned from ever returning to any Hobby Lobby in the entire country. At least that was my understanding. Then she puts out a video of her and Ken in a Hobby Lobby. Mama was pissed because we had to hire an attorney and everything. Mike Stanfield wasn't around. But it didn't stop her from stealing from other stores, only to bring the goods home, never to be used. I'd later learned that Mama had several charges against her in Louisiana, but they didn't follow when we left the state. Well, if she had serious charges, they would have followed. So, yeah. In Missouri, the bedroom where my mother and I slept had so much stuff piled in it, I needed to carve a pathway for myself from the door to the bed. It's the way it was when they found your mom's body, Gypshit. My wheelchair barely fit through the doorway. In fact, we had to take our bedroom door off its hinges. There wasn't room for it to open completely, which made it impossible for me to wheel through without crashing into the door frame, which I bet you loved because you were so destructive, Gypsy. You know those giant black bags you use to throw leaves and grass and cuttings in? Yeah, they're called lawn bags. The ones that you can step in if you are shorter than 5'3" like me, or if you ask Sarah Boone, maybe George Torres could fit in one. They were everywhere, all filled with clothes, and as if they were dresser drawers or filing cabinets, my mom knew the contents of each bag. She knew where everything was. The premiere of the new Jurassic Park movie is today. No problem. She'd head to the shed or into the back bedroom and whip out a t-shirt with T-Rex on it. Okay. Okie dokie. Gypsy clearly doesn't know where anything is because we saw that on video. She saved everything. I always wondered what she was afraid of losing, but I never asked her. Your best friend? She was probably afraid of losing you, Gypsy, and then losing her life. Whatever it was, it controlled her life. No, 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 you controlled her life, Gypsy. Let's be honest. Beyond stealing and hoarding, my mom was being treated by a doctor for bipolar disorder. I was too small to take note whether the shopping sprees coincided with the mania that she'd experienced for weeks on end. I couldn't keep up with her during her manic episodes. She'd stay up all night and clean. Where? Where? Um, this doesn't even go along with what she was saying before. She'd stay up all night and clean, do the dishes, move the black bags of clothing around, and wash the clothes and fold them, only to put them back in the black plastic bags. When she was depressed, Mama would cover the windows with black garbage bags and stay in bed for weeks at a time. After the DFS visit, the garbage bags became permanent. Get up, get out of bed, I'd say, as if I would try to roll her over and off the bed. You can't stay asleep all the time, I'm hungry. Gypsy was probably 32 at this time and didn't know how to cook. She was receiving disability checks for bipolar disorder, and once a week, a woman who worked for Social Security office would make visits for therapy. Got to a point where my mom didn't want to talk to her anymore, so she stopped letting her in. She took Xanax and Ambien to knock herself out, especially after something set her off. Probably you, Gyps Ahoy, probably you. And it could be anything. A clerk at the checkout counter was rude to her. Someone didn't return her phone call. She saw postings of Christy and my dad on Facebook. Man, it's kind of like you, Gyp shit. Anything that you are like pissed off about or anything you go off on. You go off on. You go off on and you get upset. Remember? My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Well, you better make sure because you live pretty close to me. I'll get you. Let me push the eyes all the way in the back of your head. Is your hair real? Come on, Gyps Ahoy. Ah, so, a clerk at the checkout counter was rude to her. Da da da. So, or she'd see a posting of Christy and my dad on Facebook. She'd head straight to bed and wouldn't even get up to eat. When I was much younger, before I understood my life was totally abnormal, these episodes scared me sick. I would frantically figure out how to get food to her. I knew how to make toast. Are you sure? Because you have to heat that up. So it'd make a lot. So I'd make a lot of it. I knew how to make toast. So I'd make a lot of it. Then I graduated to making Pillsbury biscuits in a toaster oven. Even in her despair, she'd set an alarm, and when it went off, she'd give me my medicine and my feeding. Because if she didn't, I might begin to see that nothing bad would happen to me. Oh my God. So you think your mom did this shit? Oh God. You want us to buy that? That as bad as your mom felt, the only reason why she took care of you was because she was afraid if she stopped feeding you, that you would get stronger. Guys, there's 202 of you. Thank you for joining me at 2:45 on Tuesday. When her bipolar condition was not controlled, she'd stop being my mom, which scared the shit out of me. Now I think that maybe she liked seeing me afraid because it showed I loved her. She needed that attention. Was that part of the game? The pulling me over, the pulling one over on me, conning me so I'd care for her and fuss over her. Kind of like, what'd you do to Ken? Kind of like what you did to Ken, Gypsy Rose. She'd always say I was the only person she had in life. You're my heart, she'd tell me. When we'd take baths together, she'd remind me how it's me and her against the world forever. You and me against the world. Sometimes it feels like you and me against the world. Tell me who sings that song. First one to tell me in the chat, you'll get a bracelet. You and me against the world. Sometimes it feels like you and me against the world. Come on, who sings it, guys? Who sings it? Who sings it? Who sings it? It's not the Carpenters. Nope, nope. Helen Reddy. There we go. There we go. Louise, my email is toddy1skip@gmail.com. And please write in the subject matter that you want a bracelet, and please put in the email your address so that I can send you that bracelet. Thank you. And people are saying congrats, Louise, and everybody else is saying damn you, Louise. No, they're not. People are saying congrats. You never got your bracelet from Don McLean, Julie? Can you please send me an email, Julie? Toddy1skip@gmail.com. Put you owe me a bracelet, Julie, please, and with your address. Okay. Let's continue on. I have a couple more bracelets that people bought, so I will get the bracelets out by Friday. I don't think we're getting any more snow right now, so we'll get that out by Friday. All right, so let me continue on. She'd always say I was the only person she had in life. You're my heart, she'd tell me. When we take baths together, she'd remind me how it's her and me against the world. One time I noticed raised red marks on her arm. I remember rubbing my fingers along them, sprinkling bath water over her, as if the droplets would magically heal them. As I investigated the marks more closely, the word pain came into view, appearing like a film negative submerged into a basin of developing solution. What the fuck? This drama, the drama of how the descriptions are is so unbelievably stupid. That looks like it hurts. How'd she know that that's how you spelt pain? She never went to school. And apparently her mom didn't do much about teaching her, but she knew how to spell the word pain. Apparently. That looks like it hurts, I said, appalled that she had carved the word pain into her forearm. How recently or long ago, I could not know. It relieves the pain, she said. I don't believe this. I just want to tell you this shit I don't believe. I don't remember hearing anything about scars like that on Dee Dee. And I don't know that Dee Dee did self-harm. I think that this is I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. All right. So, I swallowed my own hurt down, wanting to make her pain go away. So I bandaged her wounds for her, feeling a sense of purpose. When she said, I help you, you help me, we take care of each other. She threatened to kill herself on many occasions. Sorry, YouTube. She threatened to unalive herself on many of occasions. You know, Gypsy, I might look big like a rhino, but I don't have the thick, but I don't have the skin of one, she'd say. You think she called herself a rhino? Really? As I grew older, I realized she was guilting me to control her. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ah, Freud. Freudian slip there. She threatened to kill herself she threatened to unalive herself on many occasions. You know, Gypsy, I might look big like a rhino, but I don't have the skin of one, she'd say. As I grew older, I realized she was guilting me to control me. At first, it was jarring to hear her blurt out, I just want to DIE, because I was afraid of what would happen to me. We were all each other had, and I wanted to protect our little family. Until 2015 in June. Right. It was June or July. I always confuse because there's a birthday in June or July. So anyway, 2015, right? Until then, she didn't want to. She always wanted to protect her little family, but until then. Over time, it became something she'd say when we were having a disagreement or I was sassing her. On several occasions, I wanted to know why my mom didn't want someone other than me in her life to love her, make her feel special, and generally be her companion. You know why, Gypsy? Because she probably did, and you didn't want that. You were a handful, two handfuls, two handfuls. Probably a hell of a lot more, and she didn't wanna put that on somebody. Okay, so I began to wish she had someone else so she would loosen her grip on me. Let me go a little. Let you go a lot. You could have left the whole time. There would be men who asked my mom on a date. Her answer to them was always, "My focus is on my daughter," because I'd be afraid to leave her alone because she's up to no good. She runs off with married men. Supposedly, she's stealing my pain medication. How do I leave her? Just asking. "And why do you want me with a man so much, baby?" she'd ask me. When I see a nice man in a hospital waiting room or at the Ronald McDonald House and nudge her as a way to say, "Go talk to him." "I wanted daddy," was always my reply. I call bullshit. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Are you guys behaving yourself? Is there anything I need to know, Holly Jolly? Is everybody behaving themselves? No, she can't stop criticizing her mom. She's an asshole, Gypsy is. Everybody's being good? Mm. Is everybody good? Alright. No, Polly's not in the corner today. Okay, so all is good. Well, because she didn't come up with the brilliant idea of Munchausen by proxy, you know that, right? It was the lawyer. You know, the lawyer with the doctorate degree in medicine. Being facetious there, he doesn't have that. If you guys give me a minute, I could start reading chapter 7. Do you want me to read chapter 7? I think I think I should, but I need to blow my nose. I'm sorry. There was a device I saw, believe it or not, that kind of pulls your nostrils apart. I'm kind of interested in getting that because I know that if I like pull my nostrils apart, I'll be able to breathe. So I know that this is like, yeah, chapter 6 is done already. Come on, Holly Jolly, give me a break, and I got a bunch of improvisation in there too. So give me a second. Let me blow my nose, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay? Talk amongst yourselves, but behave yourselves. Hey, Alexa, what's my notification? What notification for LJT? Don't talk to me. Ugh. My nose is bleeding. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I was washing my hands because I was blowing my nose. Yeah, so here's the thing. I have like a neti pot. So like I have that Neil Med rinse that you could squirt up in it, and that works wonders. But then that makes my nose run for the next, like, I want to say half hour, and I don't want to do that. But I probably, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna jump in the shower, and then I'll probably do that first, then jump in the shower, and then go lay down and wake up and go to work, and then hopefully put a video out tonight. Yeah, Dee Dee definitely had some flaws. Who has cookies? Who has cookies? Somebody has cookies? All right, so chapter 7. The title of chapter 7, I guess, is another French word, or Cajun, or French Cajun, or whatever. So, yeah, I didn't even know that there were ads going on, to be honest with you. So, all right. This book is a bash fest to her mom. You're absolutely right. Uncensored for real. It's deplorable. It's terrible. A neti pot, yeah. So you could look that up online. I don't want to get into it because it's kind of gross, but it really is good for your nasal passage, and I definitely get wonderful relief from it. So yeah, so Katie, all you have to do is go to PayPal or Cash App, and those links are in my description. And $4 for the bracelet if you're in this country. If you're out of this country, it's $5. Just send the money via PayPal or Cash App, but make sure in the memo you please put your address. Okay? It is saline. It's absolutely saline. You should look it up. Hang on, guys. Now you guys are gonna hang on. All right, so this is it. You put in the saline or the salt right into this. There's a powder that comes a solution. You put it in there, and then you put warm water into about there, and then you do this. Pardon me for belching. And then you go like this, and then you go like this, and it shoots up and comes out the other side. And it's good. It's very good. It cleans out your nostrils. And then you go to the other side and you do it that way. Yeah, it's a two-way street. Kind of like love on a two-way street. Guys, so I have commercials on how to buy the bracelets, guys. Holly Jolly, hook up with these people and tell them how to buy the bracelets if you would. Also, just so you know, you can get them on Amazon. They're Neil Med, Neilmed, Neil Med. But just so you know, guys, the bracelets, you could go on my community page. There is a commercial, or I did like a little commercial on the community page. You would have to go down and just look, because there's a lot of stuff on the community page. So just that would be it. Okay. If you ordered it a couple days ago, I haven't mailed it out yet. I'm mailing them out on Friday. I'm going to mail them out on Friday. All right, guys. So let's go to chapter 7. Somebody drowned, you said, with one of these things? Come on, man. These things are really good. All right. I appreciate you guys. Ah, Holly Jolly, Stephanie Thompson Fithian. Can you, Holly Jolly, if would you mind, Holly, could you please put the there's not a link for the bracelet, guys. It's not a link for the bracelet. There's a link in the bio for the Cash App or PayPal. And all you have to do is link there's a link there. You link on whichever one you want to use, and you either pay $4 or $5, and you put your address in the memo part so I know where to mail the bracelet. And that's it, guys. There is no link for the bracelet. It's just in the bio. There's a Cash App or a PayPal app. Okay. I think they were joking about your about somebody drowning. I think they were joking about that. I don't know about the electric rinse. This is great. This works perfectly for me. Danny is spelled Dhani, and Milo is spelled the way you spelt it. Diet Pepsi drinker number 1. I like Coke. All right, guys. So we ready? Are we ready? Just Jen, you keep coughing and weighing. Got the Christmas flu going around here. Okay. What part of Scotland are you in? What were you part of Scotland are you in? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so I'm being told to be careful about the next chapter. Guys, I'm only going to go as far as I can go. If things get really grossly wrong, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. That's who Danny was named after. 1N. 1N. Diet Pepsi drinker. Not that Danny was named after Danny Harrison, George Harrison's son, but that's where I first saw the name. And George Harrison, his son is pronounced Donnie, right? It's Donnie, but I call Danny. It's Dan, and I throw like Dan. I always thought it was pronounced Danny, and I realized later it was pronounced Donnie, but yeah, I call her Danny, and other people call her Danny. I don't care that they call her Danny. Danny, Donnie. There's my girl. I think she would answer to both. I think she would answer to both. All right, guys. So let's go on and on and on and on. Let's do it. Chapter 7, Mentua. Okay. Mentua. Another French word, I would assume, or Cajun. And it says liar. I ain't lying. Wait, let me show you. I couldn't have written that. Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right, let's do it. I didn't know I could think for myself until I began to search the internet with an HP notebook laptop. I was told the computer was a gift from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society one Christmas when I was real age 18. Real age 18? The charity thought I was just 13. Oh, see, so she knows how old. Come on. We received a lot of help and gifts from charities, along with government entitlements like food stamps, disability checks, and Section 8 housing. It's a fact that makes my skin crawl. Oh, I call bullshit. I call bullshit because you have not even tried to give any money back. So I call BS. And then she puts out her baby's registry online, and then she accepts things from people on TikTok, and she hasn't donated anything back Nothing back. Oh God, this is so insulting. This is an insult to people. Just to people in general. This is an insult. Mm-mm-mm. I watched my mom maneuver her way around the system craftily, researching the help and even perks available to a kid like me. I didn't know it was a scam until about a year after I found my Medicaid card with my correct birth date listed. Bullshit. When Mama became more physical and violent with me after I questioned her about it, pushing back against her storytelling. So Gypsy's saying her mom got violent when she figured out. So Gypsy, as I'm sorry, as Dee Dee got more and more heavy and less a threat, somehow she became more and more violent. That's a trick. Kind of like 30 surgeries and 4 scars. Hmm. Mama became more physical and violent with me after I questioned her about it, pushing back against her storytelling. The discovery of my real birth date was not my aha moment per se, but it did act as a warning siren to be more alert and observe more closely. Bullshit. Mama was a natural born salesperson. She told me she sold phone books door to door. They're free. Phone books were free back in the day. I think they're free now. You just drop them off. I mean, remember the big phone books? There was a white pages and a yellow pages, right, guys? Remember that? It's time for some edible gummies. Ah, Kathy Anna. No, seriously. How do you sell phone books? They were free. So, oh my God. No wonder why she was a natural born saleswoman. She got rid of every single one of them. Oh God, this is funny. Oh God. Oh, let me do this again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh God. Oh God. Mama was a natural born salesperson. She told me she sold phone books door to door back when there were phone books. She was selling me a version of herself who worked like a dog after my dad left us, with only her to take care of me. But I see now this has to be a lie. Phone books were left on people's doorsteps for free. I honestly didn't know that was. I honestly didn't even know that that sentence was coming. Oh my God. That's too funny. Okay, so she told the truth there, but I don't think that her mom told her that. She still, hey, listen, Gyps, if your mom was walking these heavy books to the doors, because there were two of them, and they were heavy, both of them, depending on where you lived, but you were walking them from door to door, you were getting paid for it. So don't don't do that to your mom, man. Don't do that to your mom. I mean, she was making a living. She was making a living because she wasn't doing that shit for free. She was making a living to put food in your mouth that you didn't want to eat because failure to thrive. That's on you. I do remember Mama bought a Gateway computer and started doing photo restoration with it. She had a little business where she would take old and scratched up prints and fix them up real nice. She could cut and paste people into paintings. Like this one time when she made Jesus the captain of a boat on stormy seas. Another one I remember was an image of her as a baby superimposed on a photograph of her holding me as a baby. I watched her print out numbers 1 through 10 and cut the numbers and paste them on a document and scan the document and print it out so that it looked official. Okay. What's strange? Now she's talking about how her mom fucked with documents. I don't know if that's true or not. Um, but she's saying that she didn't start that way. Anyway. All right. Okay, so that things looked official. She got really good at the cut and paste job, which makes me wonder now if her business was forgery, like helping kids get fake IDs or making fake social security cards to steal identities. Why would you think that your mom would make fucking fake IDs for children, like to get alcohol and shit like that? I don't believe that. When it was time for our 2 hour and 45-minute drive from Springfield to Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City to see my neurologist, cardiologist, pulmonologist, and allergist, my mom found help from charities that reimbursed families for their gas money. Mama would buy gas and have those receipts and send them in so she'd get reimbursement. At the same time, she'd book the same medical visit through Angel Flight, a program in which pilots donate their planes and their time to patients in need of medical or charitable care. So she'd take the cash for the gas reimbursement, even though we were flying for free and not driving at all. Thinking about how cruel this was to do to the charities and the families who were actually in need makes me nauseous and regretful. Then fucking do something about it, Gypsy. Donate some money. Gypsy, donate some money. There's 245 people here. 60 of you or 70 of you, can you hit the like button for me, please? It's Christmas time in the city. So, this is bullshit. Gypsy, give money back to Angel Flight and give money back to some of these charities. It's easy. It's easy. It's an easy thing to do if it really made you feel nauseous and regretful. Come on, man. Come on. I'm reading stuff about how people are married, and back then you had to get married for the name and that. Okay, so people are talking about clothing now. SL Conley, how you doing? Hit all the buttons. The search with Lisa says I can't imagine dressing up the way she did and acting like she didn't know any better. Yeah, she fucking knew better. Come on, of course she knew better. And if there was any real regret, the first thing, hi Jamie, the first thing she would have done is start paying people back, start paying these organizations back. And she hasn't done that, right? She keeps asking for free shit. Come on. Come on. You can say one thing, but your actions are saying something else. All right. So let us continue on. When my mom was unconscious from wait a minute, sorry, I skipped it. I skipped it. Okay, I skipped it. Let me see. The lies continued when she began knocking back my age, which she started doing after I got my first period. I'm assuming this was to avoid the catastrophic reactions when the doctors would say a 16-year-old should most certainly have her period, no matter her muscular dystrophy or other issues. The one doctor who said this out loud, we never saw again. When my mom was unconscious from Ambien, I went on a search for information about the outside world. Did it really exist? Or was it make believe? What friends did together? Okay, so let me read this again. When my mom was unconscious from Ambien, I went on a search for information about the outside world, what friends did together, what relationships look like, how to kiss, how teenagers spent their day, what kids in classrooms did, and how teenagers spoke. I knew our new neighbor, Aaliyah, was probably a teenager, and I thought I was just a kid, but hormones were flooding me, and I became curious about boys. Well, I figured, were you like 8 years old at this point, gyp shit, or were you like 50? I'm still unsure of your age. If I found out, I would be in big trouble. If I was found out, I'd be in big trouble. So she went to Aaliyah because she was curious about boys and, hmm. So she's saying if I was found out, I'd be in big trouble, not just for the laptop use, but for the impure thoughts. Punishments range from the physical to the emotional to the supernatural. First of all, no physical, we know that. Emotional, maybe so. Supernatural, I hope I hope Dee Dee's back knocking the shit out of you, making you fall, talking in your ear, waking you up when you're trying to go to sleep. Yeah, I hope your mom is doing that. I remember a trip to the store when my mom marched in and handpicked the right raw cow's tongue. My grandfather used to eat tongue. Seriously. I mean, he used to eat tongue. It's like a delicacy. I wouldn't eat it, but I remember going into the stores and they had the tongue there. So I have a friend that would eat it today. Ah! I have a nephew that would probably eat it, to be honest with you. I think so. So I don't know. But I wanted you guys to know that I can understand that if you eating it, what she want it for. So let's see. So my mom marched in and handpicked the right raw cow's tongue. She needed it for a recipe, but not for the kind from a Barefoot Contessa cookbook, as my mom didn't eat meat. I don't know that the tongue is considered meat. She was cooking up a spell. Her mom was cooking up a spell. Whenever I would compare our normal to how other people lived, I thought she couldn't do that. I thought she didn't do that because she didn't know how to do that. Didn't she say that before? Somebody said they tried ox tongue. Was that good? Was it good? She was right on. I think that, yeah, I agree. No, thanks you. Jamie Duncan said parts people eat. I know, like the bally sack, sacky ballies. Okay, so here we go. I don't know how she did, but somehow she learned how to compare to the normal people because before she said she didn't know normal people, so I don't know how that happened. Yeah. Whenever I would compare our normal to how other people lived, my mother dissuaded my protest by reminding me that she and my grandmother had certain powers. We could see through walls. We could unalive people. We could talk people into unaliving people for us. We can marry people that we really don't love just to get an address to get to the person that we really do want to marry, only to fuck with them and have them break up with us. But in the meantime, get us pregnant. Sometimes I still believe it, especially the part that I'll never be free. It's really easy to be brought back into line if you think your mom will go out back and mix a potion in a cauldron to punish you forever. Let's read that again. Whenever I would compare our normal to how other people lived, my mom dissuaded my protest by reminding me that she and my grandmother had certain powers. Sometimes I still believe it, especially the part that I'll never be free. It's really easy to be brought back into line if you think your mom will go out back and mix a potion in a cauldron to punish you forever. Maybe she had watched Snow White too many times. That's projection right there, with the mother casting her fair daughter out for the hunter's delight, jealous of her coming of age. That's what Gypsy said. That's somebody walking through the hallway of the apartment building, letting everybody know that they're home and whatever it is that they're fucking talking about is more important than whatever anybody else is going on about. If I ever questioned our lifestyle, the gas reimbursements, why she kept telling doctors, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. If I ever questioned our lifestyle, the gas reimbursements, why she kept telling doctors I wasn't old enough to have a period, why she would tell a lie to a friend, or why I couldn't have friends my age, my mom would remind me of her witchcraft powers. A pencil would fall off the table and she'd say she did it with her mind. The shower head would drip water and she'd claim it was the force of her energy. The little house on Volunteer Way could swallow me up whole if my mother just willed it to. How many people believe this shit? I think that Gypsy probably told Ryan some of this bullshit. I hope she doesn't tell her daughter any of this crap, but something tells me manipulation is manipulation. Manipulation is manipulation. Guys, are we really talking about brain sandwiches in the chat? Guys, seriously? Brain sandwiches in the chat. All right, let's continue on. So, my mom was not only my sole caretaker without whom I could die for any reason at any time, she was like a god to me with omniscient powers. Here's my question: without whom I could die for any reason at any time. You took her out. You took her out. So it's bullshit. This is projection because you took her out. You took your mom out. Of course, this would result in me begging to sleep. Oh, wait a minute. I hope nothing happens to you tonight, her mom would say to her, putting an idea in her head, and then close the bedroom door. I became afraid of the dark real quick. Of course, this would result in me begging to sleep with her, waiting for her to have mercy on me. You are my heart, she'd say while she snuggled away the adrenaline rush I felt from being alone in the dark. Oh, God. Oh, my head. Do you guys hear the crick? My dogs eat lamb. Hey, bad girl, how you doing? All right, let me continue on. Her emotions were a whip that snapped against my self-worth. I found solace in escape and drugs, especially after we began fighting a lot. Though I was prescribed pain medication once in a while for a dental issue or a minor surgery, of course, because she didn't have any other surgeries. My mom had frequent prescriptions for Vicodin and oxycodone. She had chronic kidney stones and chronic pain in her leg. I was well aware that those drugs had a calming effect on me, and once I began to question her and also push back as a teenager for more freedom and independence, our fighting really spun me out. So let's complete that sentence. I was well aware that those drugs had a calming effect on me. And once I began to question her and also push back as a teenager for more freedom and independence, our fighting really spun me out. I remember the first time I sought out the painkillers for no pain at all. And it was after Mama and I were yelling at each other for what seemed like over an hour. I just wanted to relax, so I popped one of her pills and exhaled. So you popped one of her pills and you exhaled. When I take my medication, I don't exhale unless I'm inhaling something, right? Usually I'll take something with water. Yeah, she dedicated this book. No, I think actually she dedicated this book to anybody who had Munchausen or was a victim of Munchausen. That's what I thought, you know? It is lies and lies and lies. SDNMS. It is, but they're not my lies, so don't hold me accountable, you know. I'm just reading it so you guys don't have to. And so that you don't have to hear her voice in your ear. Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. That is something I couldn't do. And I'm glad I'm reading it so others don't buy it too. Call me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. I agree. She needs to be back in there. She sold those pills. I agree because they didn't have anything in her system. She didn't have nothing in her system, supposedly, when she was pulled over. You know, not when she was pulled over, but when she was like arrested. I think they did a drug test on her. She didn't have any of that in her system. She would have went through horrible, um, withdrawal from this. Because how many did she say she had a day? She said that she was up to an extreme amount a day. So you just don't get off of them like that. So she's just full of shit. And how much was she getting Suboxone for? This really ridiculously cheap price in prison. It's bullshit. She's full of shit. So, all right, let's continue on. The pills became a thrilling turbulence to my static air, a friend to depend on, a disturbance of my mo- of my I'm sorry, monotony. I'm sorry. Um it's not so much that I found it hard to pronounce the word, is that I just, with all of that, it's hard for me to see the word because the letters just, yeah. They'll get on top of each other with a word like monotony because there's a lot of N's and O's and M. So sorry about that. Anyway, a disturbance of my monotony. They also were the only things to numb my pain and rescue me from my loneliness. She knew I was taking them and didn't say a word. Well into my later teen years, when I began to question and rebel, I think she preferred I had my secret high because at least she knew something could control me when she couldn't. At the very least, the pills shut me up. The pharmacy won't refill these before it's time, she yelled one afternoon, caring only about my fix. The pharmacy won't refill these before it's time, she yelled one afternoon, caring only about my fix. I freaked out at the thought that one crutch I actually needed was gone. I needed them to be refilled. She needed them to be refilled. So she dragged me to the police station with her and told the detective that she and I were robbed in the Walmart parking lot and the thugs ran off with her only bottle of pain meds. With the police report, she was able to justify a refill. Seems to me like she did everything in the world for you, Gyps Ahoy, and look at what you did for her. Being high uninhibited me. I think that you didn't need any help being uninhibited. The pills gave me the nerve to comment in the chat rooms in the middle of the night. I dressed up in wigs and showed off my cleavage in self portraits. The pills provided a hopeful escape from my boredom, confusion, fear, and loneliness. They provided me with a warm fuzzy? I know. They provided me with a fuzzy courage to find ways to explore my teenage curiosities and fulfill my foreign and tingly new needs. You were probably 50 at this point. I went from wishing for a daddy to fishing for a boyfriend. Yeah, fishing, catfishing. You got that right. Guys, I think that's the end of this chapter. Yep. Tomorrow we'll go into chapter 8. If you still want me to do this, we'll go into chapter 8. What do you guys think of that? So, are we gonna do the what are we gonna do the interrogation, Gypsy's interrogation next Monday, right? I put that up there. I think that that's gonna be something. I put it up. I think we're gonna do that a little earlier because I think that's gonna take a while. You guys, you want me to do another? You want me to read one more chapter? Let me see how many. Let me see. Because I'm tired. I just gotta be honest, and I still have to take a shower, guys. It's kind of late. If you, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a few pages to this one. Let's do this tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Okay, because I gotta take a shower and go to sleep because I gotta go to work tonight. All right. So we'll meet again at 2 p.m. tomorrow if that's cool. And because there's quite a few pages to chapter 8, it looks like. Oh, yeah, there are quite a few pages to chapter 8. Quite a few pages to chapter 8. So, yeah. So we'll do that at 2 o'clock tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. As always, I thank you so much. I thank you so, so much, guys. I really do. I appreciate you. And I'll see you all tomorrow. If you guys want to continue on and talk, our Facebook community page, please check that out. Holly Jolly's worked hard on that. And I really appreciate you guys immensely. So thank you so much, guys. And I will get the bracelets out on Friday. And those people that I said to please, email me, please don't forget to do that because I want to get your bracelets out to you by Friday. All right. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow. Holly Jolly is awesome, but don't tell her it goes to her head. All right, guys. Okay, well, then there's PayPal, Denise. PayPal or Cash App. And if you don't have any of those, you can send me a check. I have a post office box inside of the bio as well. You can just send a check if you want to. Just make sure you put your address on it. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And well, hopefully I'll have a video out for you guys in the morning. Hopefully it won't be crazy busy at work. Okay. Thank you guys from the Ozarks. That's beautiful country. All right, guys, take care and thanks again.